Hello everyone, it's John Literal here, and I want to make a short video and talk about three different characters that we find in the book of Revelation, in Revelation chapter 12 and 13. Now, I've talked about this numerous times when I talk about biblical end times prophecies. I even have written about it, especially in my book called The Antichrist and His Cult. But here lately, I have been translating a Bible commentary that was written in Greek in the 6th century by a Greek early church father by the name of Ecumenius. And his commentary on the book of Revelation has definitely been one of my favorite commentaries, and especially on the book of Revelation. Now, when it comes to the book of Revelation and Bible commentaries and end times prophecies and stuff, I've read and studied a lot of different Bible commentaries. And I've even translated a Bible commentary on Revelation by an early church father by the name of Caesarius of Arles. And Caesarius, just like Ecumenius, was from the 6th century. So I've been part of translation projects like the Glossa Ordinaria on Revelation. I've also published for somebody a translation by Victorinus on the book of Revelation. And I've read lots and lots of different commentaries. So I'm very familiar with what the early church fathers, how they interpret end times prophecies in the book of Revelation. So that being said, the fact that Ecumenius is my favorite, that says a lot as far as what my opinion is about Ecumenius. Ecumenius is unique in his interpretations. And he's unique when it comes to chapter 13 of Revelation and the mark of the beast. And I find this very, very interesting. In fact, since I've been translating his commentary, it's actually helped me to connect some dots that I've never connected before. And especially with the mark of the beast and the beast coming out of the sea. So, when we get into chapter 12 and 13 of Revelation, and especially in this commentary by Ecumenius, we got three different characters. We have the dragon. We have, starting with chapter 13, verse 1, the beast coming out of the sea. And then further down, we have another one called the beast coming out of the earth. Now, when it comes to identifying the dragon and the beast coming out of the earth, the Apostle John actually does give us a lot of clues and basically interprets who these people are for us. The dragon is obviously Satan. The beast coming out of the earth, John interprets that as the false prophet. But he really does not interpret for us who the beast coming out of the sea is. And so the beast coming out of the sea, this is the beast in reference to the mark of the beast. Now, when reading and studying what Ecumenius has to say about the mark of the beast and the calculations, this actually has helped me to connect some dots and allow me to have a better understanding, in my opinion, to give me a better understanding of who the beast coming out of the sea is. So let's take a look at this. What is most commonly understood, how people interpret the beast coming out of the sea and the beast coming out of the earth. Most people, and me especially in the past, understood that the beast coming out of the sea is the Antichrist and the beast coming out of the earth is the false prophet. And that basically the false prophet is going to be someone that comes along and helps the Antichrist persecute the church and deceive many, many people, and to carry out Satan's agenda near the end times, which a lot of people understand that as being the Great Tribulation. But going with Ecumenius's interpretation of this, again, he understands the dragon is Satan. We all know who Satan is. You know, the ancient serpent. But he has a different and unique understanding and interpretation about the beast coming out of the sea. But before I get into that, I do want to point out that Ecumenius, when he talks about the beast coming out of the earth, which we know as the false prophet, Ecumenius actually understands the false prophet is the same as the Antichrist. They're one and the same. So the question is okay, then who is the beast coming out of the sea? According to Ecumenius, and I've got to say that this is where I'm leaning now, the beast coming out of the sea is not the Antichrist, but rather is a fallen angel, one who fell right along with Satan. And so the beast coming out of the sea, as Ecumenius references, the sea is the Sea of Tartarus, which is actually a real place. And the Apostle Peter, in his epistle, along with Jude in his epistle, tells us about this place called Tartarus, where the angels who rebelled against God when they were kicked out of heaven were sent to a place called Tartarus, which is a dark, gloomy prison for these fallen angels. When we talk about hell, Hades, the abyss, and so on, there are different references. Gehenna, there are references of a place sometimes generically is called hell, but they are actually have there's a little bit of difference between all three of them. And it's a place of punishment. Tartarus is a place of punishment for these fallen angels who were in rebellion against God. And so this is also, it's been referred to as the Sea of Tartarus. So Ecumenius understands this beast coming out of the sea as being a fallen angel, a very high rank, not Satan, but another fallen angel that comes out of the Sea of Tartarus. And so who is this? And when we get into the mark of the beast, I think this helps shed some light. Now, I'm going to connect some dots that even Ecumenius doesn't even connect here, because it's a term that Ecumenius doesn't use in this context. But in order to identify who this beast coming out of the sea is, this fallen angel who is not Satan, but is a very high rank, comes out of Tartarus, which is also known as the abyss. It's this prison for these fallen angels. This beast coming out of the sea, when we get into the mark of the beast, one of the calculations that Ecumenius offers is a Greek word, a proper name, called Lampetis. Lampetis, Lampetis. And this is a very rare word used as a proper name, very rare. But the actual word literally means the radiant one, the luminous one, or the shining one. Lampetis. Lampetis calculates to 666. Now, Ecumenius does give us some other options as well. And he gives us a couple more different proper names, like Benedictus, Titan. He also gives us one Greek word that means the victor, and some other names that are like characteristics of what this beast is. But the one that really caught my attention, and the one that really helps me connect some dots and who I think this is, this Lampetis. So first, let's just look at the calculation real quick. I'm not real good when it comes to all this symbolic numerology and stuff, but Lampetis, the lambda equals out to 30. The alpha is calculates to 1. The mu calculates to 40. The p, which some call it pi, calculates to 80. Then you have the epsilon, which calculates to 5. You have the tau, which calculates to 300. The iota, which calculates to 10. And the sigma, which calculates to 200. All these numbers add up to 666. So Lampetis is a legit calculation of 666 and could very well be the mark of the beast. So, Lampetis, like I said, literally means the shining one, or the luminous one, or the radiant one. And it's actually in a feminine form of the adjective, of an adjective. And so I'll get to that in a second, the significance of the fact that this is in a feminine form. So Lampetis, shining one, luminous one. And what else? What other name gives us this idea of shining or luminous or radiant? The name Lucifer. Now, before I get into this, I want to point out, and I've written and published 3 books on the Illuminati, and one thing that I do know for certain is the god of the Illuminati is Lucifer. In fact, that's where the very name Illuminati comes from. Illuminati literally means the illuminated ones. They believe that they're illuminated, and they are illuminated by the light of Lucifer. Lucifer literally means light bringer, bringer of light, light bearer. So we see a very, very similar meaning behind Lucifer and Lampetis. And that's what I think it is. I think this beast coming out of the Sea of Tartarus, is the fallen angel Lucifer. Now, Christians, a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this in the past, of understanding Satan and Lucifer being one and the same. And, but, you know, I'm a free thinker. When I run upon information, new information, and I connect some dots, I have no problems adjusting my perspective on things. And so I think that's what we have here. I think we have Satan is the dragon. Then there's Lucifer. And then in the end times, we'll have the false prophet. We could be there now. I mean, the way things have been going. But, going with what I know about the Illuminati, and even the secret societies that make up a network of the Illuminati, just like Freemasonry. Their god is Lucifer. In fact, I'll show even in Albert Pike, where he talks about Lucifer and being the light bearer. Albert Pike highlights the Latin root of Lucifer as bringer of light, a symbol of enlightenment and wisdom, contrasting with the modern Christian concept of the devil. And Lucifer represents the spirit that questions authority and tradition, seeking forbidden knowledge, the forbidden fruit, and to achieve self-awareness and spiritual growth. And so, anyway, we see that. And so, when it comes to the 666, and I see especially people from the Illuminati, and you see it very commonly amongst Illuminati influencers from the entertainment industry, which is completely controlled by the Illuminati. You'll see them flashing Illuminati hand signs of 666. And that Illuminati hand sign is actually like what a lot of people refer to as the hand sign of AOK. Like when you take the index and your thumb and make a circle, then the other 3 fingers sticking up in the air, that's like the tail that comes up from the 6. And so you got 3 of them there. And that makes 666. And it's very, very common amongst the Illuminati to use that 66 number. I've seen presidents, politicians, I've seen technocrats like Elon Musk flashing the 666 hand sign all the time. You'll see 666 in a lot of logos and stuff that are controlled by the Illuminati. And so, since 666 is a hand sign being flashed by the Illuminati, and we know that the Illuminati's god is Lucifer, that's another connection I make here. So, Lampetis, the Greek name that adds up to 666, which is basically identical with the meaning of Lucifer, That's what we have here. Lucifer is this fallen angel, this beast coming out of the sea, with the mark of the beast being 666. And since the Illuminati's flashing 666 and their god is Lucifer, all those dots connect. Everything checks out there. And so that's what I've run onto here lately. Just wanted to kind of share that with everyone. And at least give, it's something to just kind of throw out there. You can accept it, not accept it, put it in the back burner and think about it for a while as you do your own research and study. Perhaps you can start making some of those connections yourself. But that is really what I think we have going on here. And I do believe now that Satan and Lucifer are two different entities. Satan is the dragon. He's the original one who brought sin in. He's the one that he's the dragon. He's the head fallen angel, and he brought down other fallen angels with him. Lucifer happens to be another one, a very high rank. In fact, you'll find that, and that's one of the things that I noticed a lot of people in the occult, in secret societies and stuff, are like, Lucifer's not Satan. And they stress that, I don't know how many occultists I've heard talk about that. And I believe they're right. They're not the same, though they're on the same team. But anyway, just thought that's something worth throwing out there. And plus, to add on to this, as you can see on the screen, I've got a quote by the director of Planetary Initiative from the United Nations, David Spangler. One of his famous quotes is, he said, quote, "No one will enter the New World Order unless he or she will make a pledge to worship Satan or Lucifer. No one will enter the New Age unless he will take a Luciferian initiation." And that is, and I've talked about this in my books, this one world religion that the Illuminati is pushing for. It's Luciferianism. It's the worship of Lucifer. And I can go on and on and on about this, how they're going about this. Just like in the world of Christianity right now, you have all these different Christian institutions and world religions that's been hijacked by the Illuminati. And especially the Pope has been pushing for what's called ecumenism. That's blending all these religions together. And what they are ultimately aiming to do is to blend all these religions together and to eventually have it to be pure 100% Luciferianism, the worship of Lucifer. And sadly, a lot of large Christian institutions have been completely hijacked by the Illuminati over the decades and centuries. And that's who they worship. And that's what all that's meant to do. Now, this New World Order, I've talked about this many times, written 3 books on the New World Order. This is for a one world government, one world religion with a one world currency system. Then that will be central bank digital currency. And I'm not going to get into all that too much, but it's for a one world economy, one world currency. The political and economic ideology is technocracy. It's not capitalism. It's not communism. Ultimately, where they're going with this is for AI governance and for a one world government and for everyone to be, that's to do away with cash. And we're talking about a digital ID. And I believe in order to get this digital ID eventually for this one world government, for this New World Order, part of this is the Luciferian initiation to worship Lucifer. That's going to be part of the requirements. But the actual number itself, the mark of the beast, is in reference to Lucifer. And so, anyway, just wanted to throw this out there for just, at least you've heard about it. Consider it. I'm pretty sure you've probably never heard this interpretation before, unless you've researched and studied the commentary by Ecumenius. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you all. Take care. Have a good day.